Hey, good morning. Joe here, Larry's Pistol and Pond. We're in the ammo dump shooting range for Firearms Friday, as we are most Fridays. So we had someone ask a question the other day. Hey, Joe, what's best, striker-fired gun or hammer-fired gun? And I have to go back to my longtime mentor and friend many years ago, Dr. Dan Brown, who always asks my questions with, Joe, it depends. And the same is true with striker-fired versus hammer-fired guns. It depends on what you like. So let's talk about them today a little bit, and then you can take your own conclusions then. So let's go back to the original Colt Browning, if you will, 1911 style firearm. Now this is really the first popular hammer-fired automatic round. Okay, you can see the hammer right there. Boom, there's your hammer. Okay, there's your hammer. Now this is the first popular automatic round. Every time I went off base in Vietnam and during the war, I carried one of these. The only problem with this is it only holds about 8 rounds, so that's kind of an issue. Fast forward a little bit and we get to this. This is a Beretta 92. The DOD picked this gun up back in the 80s, and this became the standard because it holds 15 rounds and not just 8 rounds. So smaller round, but more capacity. So this is, again, hammer-fired gun right there, okay? So that's good. Time goes on, and in the 80s, a company called Glock comes along, and they create this gun. This happens to be a Glock Knight. Now this gun is a striker. You notice there's no hammer back here, okay, like on the other 2 guns I just showed you. The striker is inside this, and it's actually out of alignment until you pull the trigger. So this makes your gun safe. People will look at this and go, oh, it didn't have a safety on it. That's because the safeties are internal on this gun. So let me show you what this looks like. So here is, of course, a striker-fired gun. This happens to be a Smith & Wesson, and you can see there's no hammer here, but the striker is inside the slide here. Okay. Now, I do not recommend you take this apart. Okay. When you clean your gun, this is as far as you need to take it apart. You can pull the spring out and pull the barrel out and clean it. Do not try to get in and try to clean the striker. Now, those are striker-fired and hammer-fired guns. Now, fast forward, and this gun comes along. This looks like a hammerless gun, okay? This is an M&P EZ. Has no hammer. Oops, wait a minute, Joe. Actually, it does have a hammer. The hammer is internal to this one. Let me show you what it looks like. There's actually a hammer right here inside this gun. So it looks like a striker-fired gun, but it's actually a hammer-fired gun. Okay, that's one of the reasons that makes this gun so much easier to rack, the way this gun is engineered, so that it makes it easy to rack, which is why it's called an EZ. So hammer-fired, striker-fired, your choice. It depends on what you want to do and how you feel about the guns. The only answer is it's a gun that you like. As my friend and mentor and boss and longtime producer and director Stan says, the only gun that matters is the gun that you have with you when you need it. So whether you need a hammer-fired or striker-fired gun, it's the gun that you need when you need it. All right, that's it for this Friday. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.